Hey folks, welcome back. In this video, we will be talking about Python list data structure. So Python list is indexed. So we can able to access the elements through indexes and it is sequential. So we can access the elements in a sequential order, one after the other, and it is mutable. So we can able to modify the elements once the list is created and it is ordered. So whatever the order that we entered the elements, so we can able to access the elements in the same order. So, so these are the list methods that we have. Append, so it adds the element at the last position, and insert, the element will be added at a specified position. And dot remove, so it removes the elements from the list. And pop, so the difference between pop and remove is when we do pop, so it will remove the elements from the last position. So count, it counts the number of occurrences. And clear, it removes the all elements from the list. And extend, so it takes the iterable and adds all that elements from the iterable to the current list. And sort, so when we do dot sort, so it will sort the elements in an order. So we can also specify the order. Dot reverse, so reverse function reverses the elements in a reverse order. Index, so if we give an element to the list, and when we use the index of that element, then it returns the index of that element. So copy, it just copies the element, the list. Let's look at the image. So here we can see that we can access the both positive index and negative index. So when we do a list of 0, then it gets the first element from that list. And if we do a list of -1, so it gets the last element from the list. So we can access in both ways. Let's close it and let's get started with the coding part. So we can define the list in two ways. So one is using a built-in function, that is list, and the other one is just using the two square brackets, something like this. And we can also define the list with some elements in it. So let's define L2 equals to 1, 2, 3, and we can also use the string, the maybe CD, something like this. So this way we can define the Python lists. So let's run this and see if we get any errors. Python 3 lists.py. Yeah, looks like we have a syntax error here. So we forgot to define, forgot to add comma there. So let's run it again. So we didn't see anything because it did run, but there are no print statements in there. Let's add some print statement L2 and let's run it again. So we can see that here all the elements from the list. So this is how we define the list. Let's clear the console. Now let's go through the list methods one by one. Append. Okay, let's use L2 to append the element. L2 dot append 100, and then let's print the list L2. Let's save it and run the Python file. So for the first print statement, we got only 4. When we use the append statement, we got the 100 as a last element. So let's use insert to insert the list element at specific position. So let's insert after 2. So we know that we use indexes to access the list. So let's use the index 0, 1, 2. So let's use L2 dot insert. So let's hover it. So it takes the index and the object. So I want to insert the element at position 1, which means after 1. So I want to insert the element at position, and the element is, let's give my name here, and let's print the list. Okay, let's clear the console and run Python 3 list.py. So here we can see that at position 1 for the second print statement, we have element 2. But when we use the insert to insert the element, so we can see that at position 1, our new element is updated. So that's how that's the difference between append and insert. And let's use remove. Okay, let me remove all this stuff and let me define L equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, and L dot remove 3 and print L. So let's also print the list before removing the element 3. Print L and save it Let's clear it out. Python 3 list.py. Okay, looks like we have syntax error again. Oh, that's the issue. So again, we did miss the comma. So we can see that for the first print statement, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. And for the second print statement, we got only 1, 2, 4 because we removed the 3. That's how remove works. And let's use pop. For pop, we don't need to pass any elements. Let's clear the console and run the list again. Oops. Python list.py. Oh, yeah, that's right. Python 3 list.py. Looks like we didn't have the Python alias for that. So here we can see that 1, 2, 3. So the last element 4 was removed. So when we use pop, it removes the last element. Let's use the next method, that is count. So we can also have duplication of elements in list. So it allows it. So let's define 1 again and John and Lily. Let's use count. Let's count number of occurrences for element 1. Let's assign this to a variable c equals to l dot count and print c. So we can see that the output is 2. So that's because we have only 2 occurrences for element 1. So that's why we got 2. Let's use clear. So before using the clear method, let's remove these 2 print statements and now call clear on list L and then print L and save it and run the program Python lists.py. Okay, looks like we missed the Python 3 again. Let's run it. So here we can see that after we call the method clear, so it removed the all elements from the list. So that's how the clear method works. Okay, let's define alias Python equals to Python 3 here, so that when we miss the 3, we work. So we did cover the clear, and let's use extend. Okay, let's redefine the list again. L equals to 1, 2, 3, and let's print L. Print L. So this is before, and let's call the extend method. So we need to pass A, B, C. So we need to pass any iterable like set, list, tuple, anything. So let's copy statement before and change before to after and save it. Let's run the Python file. So here we can see that before we have 1, 2, 3, only 3 elements. And once we call the extend with the iterable, so we can see that the list updated with the iterable elements. So that is A, B, C. So now we have 6 elements in total. So that's how extend works. Let's go for one more, that is sort method. Yeah. So to better understand this, I must define the elements in an mixed manner, not in a sorted way. So let me define 4, 3, 1, 2, 8. So before and after, let me call sort method. So I did call the sort method. So when I run the Python again, Python file, that is list.py. So now we can see that before we have 4, 3, 1, 2, 8, which is not in a sorted format. So, but if we see after sort method is called, we can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. That is in a sorted way. So we can also reverse sort the list. So for that, we need to just pass reverse equals to true here as a parameter. Let's run it again. Okay, like we need to pass just reverse. Let me try it again. Yeah, so it did work. So now we can see that for the before we have 4, 3, 1, 2, 8, which is not sorted. after we have 84321, which is reverse sorted in a descending order. So if we want descending order, we just need to pass the reverse equals to true as a parameter. Otherwise, we need to just pass empty, no parameters, then it will be ascending order. So that's how a sort method works. Let's use index method. Okay, let me define, okay, let me remove all this. And let me use alphabets for a better understanding. A, B, C, D. So we have 4 elements in the list. Let's use index equals to L dot index of A and print index of A index. Let's clear it out and run it. Python list.py. So here we can see that we got 0 as index. Let me use B here and let me save it and run it. So now we can see that we got 1 because B element has index 1. If we do D here instead of B, and if we run it again, so we get 3 because the index number for D is 3. So that's how index method works. So if you want to get the index number for the element, then we can go for this method. Let's use copy. So we can copy the list from one list to another. Let me define another list. L2 equals to L dot copy and print L2. So if we run it, so we can get the list ABCD again. But if we update the L2, it won't, I mean, the L1 remains the same. So let me do that. L2 dot append 123 and then print L2. So if we run it again, let me run it. So we can see that the second print statement has the element 1, 2, 3, but not the first statement. And let's also print the L1 as well. Let's use one more print statement to print L1. Okay, let's copy this. So if we see L2 has the 1, 2, 3 and L1 didn't have the 1, 2, 3. That's because we copied L1, all elements from L1 to L2, and then we added one more element to the L2. That's why we have another element in L2. So if we didn't use the copy, let's see how it works. So we will be having both the list, I mean, both the print statements have the same number of elements. So that's why we use copy when we want to duplicate the elements from one list to another. So that's how the copy method works. Let's look at the slicing part. So we can get the slice of the list. Let's say if we have 10 elements and then we want only elements from index number 4 to 6, then we can use slicing to get that. Let's go for that. Let me remove all this. Define list again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we have 7 elements in list, and let's say if I want only 3, 4, 5 as a slice, then I can simply use the slicing syntax for that. Slice equals to L of I want starting index. So we can define the starting index. If it is not defined, then it will consider it as starting from 0. So I just want 0, 1, 2, index number 2, 2, this part 2, 3, 4 till 4. So I'm using 5 because the last, whatever the end index, that won't be included. So let's print this slice. We did miss the parenthesis here. Let me add that and clear this out. And in the Python, oops, not playground, .py. So we can see that we got only 3, 4, 5 as a slice. So that's how we do the slicing. And when we use plus operator on do list, so it will create new list and add combines the all elements from list 1 and list 2. Let's look at that. We already defined L, and let's rename it to variable to L1 and L2 equals to, let's define A, B, and C. So we have defined two lists. If I print, okay, let's define one more variable L3 equals to L1 plus L2. So let's print the L3. Okay, let me, oops. My bad. Python list.py. So we can see that we have all elements from list 1 and all elements from list 2. So if we print L1 and L2 as well, there will be no changes to the two lists. Print L1 and let me copy that. Print L2. So let's run it again. So we can see that L1 and L2, there is no change for that two lists. So that's how we can use plus operator. If we use multiplication operator, so the number of elements in a list gets multiplied. So let me check. So we have L1 with 7 elements. So if we print, okay, let's define L2 equals to L1 into 2 and print L2. So let's see what happens. Python list.py. So we can see that we have two copies of the element L1. Sorry, list L1. So here we have 1 to 7, and then again we have a repetition of the all elements 1 to 7. If we replace 2 with 4, then we will be having 4 copies of it. So we can see that this is one copy, and then second, and then third, and then fourth. So that's how the multiplication operator works on lists. So we can use in operator to check whether the given element is in list or not. So here we have 7 elements. So let me check for that. Let me check A in L1 or not. And let me also check for 5 in L1 or not. So let me clear the console and run python list.py. And for the first print statement, we got false because we didn't have element A. But for the second print statement, we got true. That's because we have the element 5 here. So that's how in operator works on lists. And we can iterate through elements using for loop. So we have a for keyword in Python to iterate to the iterable elements. So let me use that for number in L1 print number equals to then comma. Okay. So let's run the Python. So we can see that number equals to 1 to 7. So we iterated through all elements. So let's say if we want to add number 1 to each element, and then we can simply do that. So we can see that we added 1 to each and plus 1 to each number that we iterated. So that's how we can iterate through the list. So we can also have list comprehension. So list comprehension means we can define the for loop inside the list creation. Let's look at that. So we have L1 and let's define L2 using list comprehension. So L I into 2 for I in L1. Let's print L1 and L1 and print L2. Let's save it and clear the console here and run the Python lists. So here we can see that for the first list, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But for the second one, we used list comprehension syntax here, and we got each element multiplied by 2. So this is how we can use the list comprehension in a shorter format, and it is a bit faster than normal loops. So these are the functionalities that list provides. So we have covered almost all list functionalities. We can also check the different available functions on using IPython. Let me open IPython. So let me define L equals to 1, 2, 3, L dot, and then if I press tab, so we can able to see all the available methods on this. So we have append, clear, copy, all these. So this is one way of checking whether we have all methods or not. So we can also use the interactive shell to execute the all operations. L dot append into 3, and then if we just do L, so we can get the all elements from the list L. So this is easier way to practice the Python lists and all other data structures like lists, sets, and etc. So yeah, that's all for this video. So if you like this video, please do share, subscribe to my channel. Thank you.